If you felt, restlessness recently, if relationships feel like they're changing, evolving, if your career is shifting, if your spiritual journey just feels like it's asking for more of you than ever before, you're not alone. There is this huge restlessness that is occurring. It's a huge cosmic shift as well. The old ways may no longer fit. The new ways are so unknown right now and unfamiliar that in between space can be uncomfortable, but it can also become a place of extraordinary growth. Rather than rushing through it, this season invites us to become curious about what it is that is teaching us. Beloved heart, before we begin, I have a special gift for you. If you've been feeling the intensity of Earth's rising plasma light codes and want to stay centered in your body and heart and energy field, I've created a free light language quantum grounding activation just for you. This transmission will help you stabilize, integrate, and align with the new frequencies flowing onto the planet. Simply join my mailing list. See the link that's in the show notes to receive instant access. Let's ground into the light together. This is the transfiguration of the new you. Hello, beloved. Welcome back to my podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Saturn retrograde, and it's really about the divine justice, the divine restoration. And there's just so much to share about this. And I want to share the top three things, top three keys to uh, navigating this retrograde. And also just conclude with a brief meditation as well to ignite and initiate it in itself. And it does go into retrograde from July 26th until December 10th of this year. But there's also some other transit of nodes that are occurring as well. So these are moments in history when the universe seems to whisper. And, there are moments when it speaks so clearly that we simply cannot ignore it. And so I believe we are in that stage right now where the universe is starting to speak very loud to us in different ways. On July 26th, several significant energetic shifts began unfolding simultaneously. And Saturn stations, retrograde. And this is coming out of the tails of when Mercury retrograde just ended on July 23rd. For me, it was a very reflective moment. There's a Mercury retrograde that was in Cancer, so it has to do with the home life, with family, and so there's a lot of reflection in all of that. A lot of it to do with the work-life balance. And so Cancer to me is the foundation of home. And Saturn now going into this retrograde is going to move it even further into this more reflective mode. And then on top of that, on July 26th, there was this lunar node shift into Aquarius and Leo. And although these may sound like they're separate, astrological events, together they tell one larger story, and it is a cosmic story of us. They invite us to ask, who have I become? Who am I pretending to be still? And what am I still carrying because I thought I had to? Things that you had to carry, any old stories or just stories in general that you're holding on to. What kind of future do I want to help create? And if you felt, restlessness recently, if relationships feel like they're changing, evolving, if your career is shifting, if your spiritual journey just feels like it's asking for more of you than ever before, you're not alone. There is this huge restlessness that is occurring right now. It's a huge cosmic shift as well. Many highly sensitive people, empaths and starseeds, describe feeling as though they're standing between two chapters of life. The old ways may no longer fit. The new ways are so unknown right now and unfamiliar That in between space can be uncomfortable, but it can also become a place of extraordinary growth. Rather than rushing through it, this season invites us to become curious about what it is that is teaching us. Today, we're going to explore what these energies can symbolize, how they may support meaningful inner work, and how you can move through them with greater intention and clarity. So, with Saturn retrograde, this is like a cosmic architect returns us to this foundation. And that is, a lot of divine justice, a lot of divine restoration. And so, with Saturn, though, it's about structures. And it's not here for anything to do with punishment. Saturn is more interested in the mastery of things. So it's really about our mastery of life. Think of Saturn as the master architect of your soul's life. If you build a beautiful house, but the foundation underneath is cracked, would you continue adding more floors? Or would you first strengthen the foundations? Or just start hit, a reset and just do them all over again, a renewal. In other words, Saturn always chooses the foundation because what lasts is built from integrity. Saturn governs our commitments, our boundaries, our responsibilities, our discipline, our relationship with time, and our willingness to grow through experience. So when Saturn turns retrograde from July 26th through December 10th, the emphasis shifts inward. Instead of asking us to build more, it invites us to evaluate what we're already building. Some questions you might reflect on include, am I living in accordance to my deepest value? Where have I been saying yes when I really mean no? And where am I avoiding a difficult but necessary conversation? Where have I outgrown an old identity, even if it once served me well? Saturn doesn't rush toward answers. It encourages us to develop them through reflection, honesty, and consistent action. For highly sensitive individuals, this period can feel especially meaningful. Many sensitives have spent years adapting to the expectation of others or carrying stories from others. Sometimes that adaptation becomes so familiar that it is difficult to recognize where authentic desire ends and learned survival begins. This retrograde offers an opportunity to notice these patterns with compassion rather than judgment. And now, with Leo South Node and the Aquarius North Node, a new collective story is emerging. At the very same time that Saturn is in this inward review of retrograde, you have these lunar nodes shifting as well. Leo in South Nodes, Aquarius in North Node, and the lunar nodes are often understood as representing themes of release and growth. The South Node points to familiar patterns we may have already been, outgrown. The North Node points toward qualities that invite our continued development. With the South Node in Leo, many people may find themselves reflecting on questions of identity, recognition, and self-expression. So Leo's gifts are beautiful, and it's about creativity, courage, generosity, and warmth, the ability to inspire others, the qualities that remain valuable. Yet every sign also has tendencies that become unbalanced. In this case, some people may notice an increased awareness of seeking approval, tying self-worth too closely to recognition, or feeling pressure to perform rather than simply to be. Again, this is not about eliminating healthy confidence or dimming your light. Rather, it may be an invitation to ask, why do I want to be seen? Am I sharing from authenticity or from the hope that others will validate my worth? For many highly sensitive people, this question reaches deeply. Some have hidden their gifts because visibility once felt unsafe. It felt safe just being in the shadows. And so there was this too much of this persecution energy. So a lot of that may be coming up to the surface now. A lot of anxiety around this because these are patterns that have been deeply hidden in the layers of the subconscious. And it doesn't matter if you're in this whole new body, these have a tendency to follow through even the past lives or the many lifetimes that you may have experienced, which are now happening so much more in the present moment of the quantum field. And so they are being felt a lot more because the light, the frequency has increased significantly, even more so it is felt a lot stronger than ever before. Our awareness has become or expanded even more so to be more self-aware that this is also still playing out. And others, have felt they needed this constant reassurance before trusting themselves. These can look like opposite experiences, yet both revolve around seeking safety outside ourselves. So this is where a lot of our stories stem from. Is a validation that is external to us, seeking a validation from others, seeking that approval from others if we're doing something right, if we're doing something wrong, or just not trusting our inner guidance. The Aquarius node offers another possibility. Aquarius reminds us that our individual gifts matter the most when they are connected with something beyond ourselves. It invites collaboration and over competition, contribution over comparison, purpose over performance. Instead of asking, how do I become important? Aquarius asks, the energy of it asks, how can my gifts become genuinely useful? Imagine a choir. Each voice is distinct. No voice needs to disappear, yet the beauty comes from how they support one another. That's the spirit of Aquarius. So in essence, we're all instruments of God. And in those instruments, they all have their own tuning, sound, and frequency. And each one is unique based on personal experience and personal divine expression in these life that we're experiencing here on earth in these physical bodies at this time. And that frequency and that signal is being tuned up, it's being restored in a way, and it's being recalibrated to be in tune more so with our divine soul expression, the divinity that we hold within ourselves, the greater light of who we are. So, why do these transits together matter? This is where I find these two transits especially compelling. Saturn strengthens the foundation, the lunar nodes shift the direction. One asks us to examine how we are living, the other encourages us to consider why. Together, they invite us toward greater authenticity, not perfection, not self criticism, but a quieter confidence rooted in integrity rather than applause. For many of us, this may feel less like becoming someone new, more like remembering who we've been beneath the layers of expectations. That's why I often speak about timeline convergence. Whether you understand this or not, imagine many possible paths before you. Each honest choice you make gradually aligns you with the version of your life that reflects your deepest values. Rather than escaping one timeline for another, you are shaping your future through the present choices. That's a form of convergence grounded in awareness and responsibility. So, here are some top three things to consider, right, for this Saturn retrograde. Number one, you want to conduct an integrity inventory within, not an achievement inventory, but rather a success, or not a success inventory, but rather an integrity inventory where you ask yourself, where is my life aligned? Where is it misaligned? Where am I still abandoning my own wisdom because I fear disappointing someone or others? Where am I shrinking my gifts because visibility once felt unsafe? And where might I be seeking approval instead of trusting what I already know? Write it all down. And this isn't about blame, it's about getting the clarity that creates freedom. And the second thing is complete what is already calling you. Saturn loves completion. Many of us accumulate unfinished conversations, abandon creative projects, postpone healing work, and promises we made to ourselves. And I've been there. I've been there many times. And so these are one of the many things that I am reflecting on so much. Completion builds self-trust. Choose one meaningful thing to finish. Not 10, but one, and allow yourself to experience the quiet satisfaction of honoring your own commitments. And if you're able to do more than one, then you have this whole time period for the Saturn retrograde to complete through those tasks, complete the areas that you started. And the third one is build community without losing yourself. Aquarius teaches us that we don't have to walk alone. Many sensitives have learned to isolate because connection has become painful, overwhelming, or just a societal anxiety. Yet, healthy communication in a community doesn't require abandoning your individuality. It invites mutual support while respecting healthy boundaries. And you ask yourself, who encourages my growth? Who inspires integrity? Who helps me become more myself rather than less? Perhaps this season isn't asking you to find more followers. Perhaps it's asking you to cultivate deeper relationships with people who value authenticity, accountability, and a shared purpose. And so at this stage, I want to jump into this meditation. And before we do, just know that you can always come back and repeat this and pause in some of those areas. Beloved, if you're craving deeper connection, intuitive expansion, and consistent energetic support, join me inside the Frequency Resonance Lounge. This is a monthly Master Heart Circle, moon ceremonies that includes the full and new moon, and a private community for connections. Link is in the show notes. Where you want to integrate more, because I won't be pausing for too long just to continue with the episode, but you can always go back and re-listen and pause as you need to. So this is a meditation where I want to talk about the inherited patterns, which is really about generational curses that we may have picked up along the way through our ancestry tree or ancestry line. But whatever may be the case, this is for divine justice and divine restoration because it is our time to really be shining and we are meant to be in our divine power. And so this will assist with realigning you in that way and to release any inherited patterns or any patterns that you are ready to let go of. And this could be listened at any time. It doesn't have to be during a full moon. It doesn't have to be during like an ancestral day or anything like that. It's whenever you're able to get to this. And a perfect time being now that we're in the Saturn retrograde that this could amplify that energy as well. So before we begin, find a comfortable position where your body can soften and your breath can become effortless. If it feels comfortable, gently close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. Again, inhale peace. Exhale everything that has been weighing upon your heart. One more breath. Breathing in divine light. Breathing out all resistance. Now allow your self-awareness to gently settle into your sacred heart. Imagine a brilliant golden sun glowing at the center of your chest. This is your eternal light. The light has never been broken. It has never been lost. It has only been waiting for you to remember. With every breath, this golden light expands. It fills your heart, your lungs, your shoulders, your arms, your abdomen, your legs, until your entire body radiates with a warm, golden presence. You are safe, you are supported, you are deeply loved. Now imagine standing upon a magnificent timeline made entirely of golden light. This timeline represents your life behind you, stretching far into the distance are the generations who came before you, your parents, their parents, their parents before them, countless generations, each doing the best they could with the awareness they possessed. Take a moment to silently honor them without judgment, without blame, simply acknowledging that every generation carry both wisdom and burdens. Now notice that some of these burdens appear as heavy chains, old contracts, old beliefs, old stories, old fears, old vows. And perhaps they whisper, there is never enough. You must struggle to survive. Money is dangerous. You must sacrifice yourself to be worthy. You have to work harder for everyone else. Success will separate you from those you love. You cannot have abundance and spirituality, that you have to work hard to gain your worth. Simply notice whatever arises. No need to force anything. Only observe. Now see a magnificent pillar of crystalline golden light descending from the infinite creator, pouring through the crown of your head, flowing into your sacred heart. This light carries only divine love, divine wisdom, divine justice, and divine restoration. As this light expands, it begins dissolving every inherited pattern, every generational curse, every belief based on limitations, every agreement, and every expectation that no longer serves your highest good. Without struggle, without fear, only love. Silently repeat these words. I honor those who came before me. I release the burdens that were never mine to carry. I choose to keep the wisdom and release the suffering. Now bring your awareness specifically to any inherited beliefs around money, security, and worthiness. Notice them as old scrolls, old vows, old contracts, old agreements written long ago. And perhaps they were created during times of war, of scarcity, loss, or survival. Whether they belong to your family history, your own life experiences, or represent symbolic stories you've carried, imagine placing them into a beautiful violet flame. Watch them gently transform into light and repeat. I lovingly release every inherited belief that tells me abundance is unsafe. I release every vow of poverty. I release every vow of lack. I release every vow of struggle. I release every agreement that says I must sacrifice my joy in order to serve. I release every identity built upon survival. And take another deep breath. Now see new scrolls appearing before you. These are written in golden light. These represent the life you are consciously choosing. Read them one by one. I am worthy. I am supported. I receive with gratitude. My gifts create value. I serve with love. I prosper with integrity. I honor both my heart and my responsibilities. My abundance allows me to serve more fully. And write your own, whatever it is that you wish to write in your new scroll. Allow these new truths to settle gently into your heart. Now imagine the golden timeline beneath your feet becoming brighter. The pathway that no longer align with your highest expression begin dissolving into the light. Not because they are being erased, but because you are no longer feeding them with your attention or your choices. Ahead of you, one radiant pathway becomes increasingly clear. It is peaceful, steady, grounded, aligned. This is the path you choose to walk through your actions, your integrity, and your compassion. Take one intentional step into this pathway. Feel the confidence between your feet and beneath your feet. Feel the quiet knowing within your heart. Now imagine beautiful waves of emerald green light flowing through your heart. This is divine restoration. Every place where there has been disappointment, grief, betrayal, or loss is gently filled with love. Not to erase your experiences in any way, but to remind you that healing and hope remain available. And repeat these final declarations to yourself. Divine justice restores within my life. Divine love restores peace within my heart. I release what no longer belongs to me. I welcome wisdom without fear. I welcome abundance without guilt. I welcome purpose without striving. I walk forward with courage, compassion, and integrity. I choose to build a future that reflects my deepest values. Take one final deep breath. Feel gratitude for yourself, for your willingness to grow, for every lesson that has strengthened you. And when you're ready, gently bring your awareness back into your body. Feel your feet connected to the earth. Feel your breath. Feel your heart. And carry this peace with you into the days ahead, remembering that every conscious choice becomes part of the future you are creating. Remember, the Saturn retrograde isn't asking you to become someone you are not. It is inviting you to become more deeply aligned with who you truly are. As the South Node in Leo encourages us to release identities rooted in external validation, and the North Node in Aquarius calls us forward in authentic contribution, we are given a rare opportunity to build a life from integrity rather than performance. May this season be one of divine restoration, not only for you, but for the legacy you leave through your choices, your compassion, and your courage. And so it is. And I will catch you in the quantum field. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field, sending you so much love.